if you're thinking about buying the Metcal PS-900 soldering station because it promises power and precision packed into a compact design, hold on, because there's more than one side to this story. But here's what surprised me. Despite the sleek claims and advanced smart heat temperature control, the PS900 has quite a few quirks and issues that many buyers don't expect. You might assume this is an unbeatable bargain for under $300 with its rugged build and ergonomic handle. But what if I told you that's not the full picture? By the end of this review, you'll know exactly whether the Metcal PS900 is the powerhouse it claims to be or just another device that sounds great but falls short when it really matters. Ready to find out? Let's dive in. First, who even is the PS900 for? Technicians, electronics hobbyists, or professionals needing a reliable soldering iron with precise thermal control might be intrigued by its compact footprint and temperature features. But whether you're setting up a small workstation or replacing an old rig, think carefully before committing. I mean, you wouldn't order a pizza based solely on the picture without testing the crust, right? The PS900 looks good on paper, but performance and durability tell the real story. Starting with the positives, Metcal's smart heat temperature control system is indeed an impressive feature on paper. It's designed to maintain a stable temperature during work, which is critical to avoid overheating components or causing cold solder joints. Its small benchtop size and lightweight, ergonomic handle also make it a decent option for jobs requiring extended soldering sessions without hand fatigue. Plus, the rugged cast aluminum housing adds an extra layer of durability that you don't usually get at this price point. Even the tips have added plating thickness, which theoretically should extend their life and improve heat transfer. But there's a catch, several actually. One of the biggest complaints I kept seeing in reviews is about the heater coil and the so-called quick change feature. While Metcal markets this as a time-saving plus, users report that swapping out heater coils isn't as easy as advertised, and replacement parts can be pricey and difficult to source. That's like promising a quick gear shift on a bike only to find out the chain needs a wrench every time you want to change speeds. Not ideal, especially when you're on a deadline or mid-project. Then there's the temperature control. Although the smart heat system does a decent job on stable surfaces, in actual use, it sometimes struggles to hold consistent heat when soldering delicate components. This inconsistency causes frustrating moments where you have to wait longer or risk damaging sensitive electronics. For an exceptional thermal control system, that's a letdown, especially considering other brands in this price range can deliver steadier results. This flaw alone can turn a productive afternoon into a heated stress test, not the kind of heat you want when soldering. Another issue to weigh is the price. At $296.99, the PS900 isn't exactly budget-friendly. For a niche tool, you'd expect wow factor performance that justifies that cost. However, given the reports of difficult tip replacement, sometimes fragile heater coils, and inconsistent heat control, it feels like you're paying a premium for features that don't fully deliver. Think of it like buying a sports car that looks flashy but has the engine of a lawn mower. Sure, it might sit pretty in your garage, but it won't win you any races. Speaking of garage, let's talk ergonomics because if you're spending hours soldering, comfort matters. The handle is indeed lightweight and designed to reduce hand fatigue, which scores points. However, some users mention that the grip gets slippery during extended use, especially if your workbench isn't perfectly clean or if your hands sweat a bit. Kind of like trying to hold a bar of soap while juggling. You want precision, not a slippery mess. This might not be a deal breaker for everyone, but it's something to keep in mind if your projects demand long hours soldering. Let me rehook you here with a question. Have you ever been mid-solder on an important project only to have your iron's tip suddenly lose heat or become difficult to replace? If yes, then you understand why tip reliability and heat consistency should be non-negotiable. The PS-900's touted quick-change heater coil and thick-plated tips are supposed to prevent this, but the reality is a bit messier. Replacement parts can be expensive, and the tip plating, while thicker, doesn't always hold up to heavy use. So, if you're considering this station for high-frequency or professional use, you might want to pause and explore the long-term cost of maintenance. Let me share a quick story from a fellow electronics hobbyist. He bought the PS-900 mainly based on the positive Amazon rating of 4.3 stars and the smart temperature controls promised. But after just a few weeks, his soldering iron started losing heat during important micro-soldering tasks. He also found the replacement tips cost substantially more than what he expected, throwing off his maintenance budget. This forced him to buy a backup soldering station to avoid downtime. It's a classic case of buy cheap, buy twice, but in a $300 product. Ouch. Don't get me wrong, there are lots of satisfied users who appreciate the compact design and improved tip longevity. One reviewer even joked that using this iron felt like soldering with a magic wand. But those comments are offset by others who experienced reliability issues, forcing a cautious approach. If your usage is light and occasional, the PS-900 might work well enough, especially with a careful hand. But for daily, heavy-duty operations, the jury is still out. All right, time for a quick joke. Why did the soldering iron break up with the circuit board? Because it couldn't make the connection. On that note, the PS-900 sometimes struggles to maintain a stable connection in terms of heat output consistency, something to keep in mind. It's like dating someone who's great at first but unreliable when things get serious. You want a soldering partner who sticks by your side, right? So, what about alternatives? If the PS-900's blend of features and issues leaves you hesitant, brands like Hakko or Weller might offer better reliability, albeit sometimes at a higher upfront cost. But here's the twist. Those alternatives often come with better user support and more widely available replacement parts, which can save headaches in the long run. Therefore, while the Metcal PS-900 looks attractive with its rugged housing and smart temperature tech, you might pay more over time in unexpected ways. Now, don't let this review scare you off completely. The Metcal PS-900 does have redeeming qualities. Its design is compact yet sturdy, making it easy to fit into any workspace, and the temperature control system, while imperfect, is still one of the better ones in its range. Plus, the lightweight handle really does reduce fatigue, helping you power through longer sessions. So, the conclusion here isn't that the PS-900 is a bad tool. It's that it's a mixed bag, best suited for hobbyists or light users who can accept some quirks for the price. Before wrapping up, here's a quick second joke to lighten things up. Why don't soldering irons ever win at poker? Because they always show their hand. But seriously, the PS-900's hand shows a solid effort in design and specs but falls short on execution in several areas. So how do you decide? If you want to prioritize a compact and ergonomic station with decent temperature control and can handle occasional maintenance quirks, the PS-900 could be a fit. However, if you need absolute reliability, easier part replacement, and more consistent heat for professional or heavy use, consider looking elsewhere. This honest review is about saving you from buyer's regret, not knocking a product just for the sake of it. Still interested? If you want the best price and to check current deals, make sure to use the link in the description below. It'll get you the latest offers directly on Amazon, with additional user reviews to help finalize your choice. Oh, and last joke for the road. What did the soldering iron say to the circuit board after a long day? I'm heated, but I couldn't do it without you. In all seriousness, the Metcal PS-900 can do a lot. Just make sure it's the right fit for your heat workload. In summary, the Metcal PS-900 blends innovative features, ergonomic design, and compact build in a reasonably priced package. Yet, it struggles with tip longevity, heater coil replacement, and temperature stability under heavy use. If you're a hobbyist or light user, It's an honest contender. For professionals needing consistency and easy maintenance, looking beyond might save you frustration and money. Thanks for sticking with me through this review. Whether you go for the PS-900 or another station, always choose what fits your projects best. Don't forget to check the description for the Amazon link to get the best price available. Happy soldering!